The fuck is up, y'all? Scotty Balls up on here with my motherfucking homie RONE from Beneath the Dirt. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Pretty exciting night tonight, you know? We got a fucking amazing classic album, like sacred fucking album here, you know?
Absolutely.
In the Juggalo world, the underground world, you know, anybody who may even hate ICP right now, they love this album still, you know?
Absolutely. Fucking classic album. One of the best albums in the wicked shit horrorcore genre, period. Never mind Psychopathic Records. Just front to back classic. It's going to be awesome watching this battle go down tonight. You know, Tales from the Lotus Pod. Like you just said, whether you hate ICP, even if you hate Twisted, it doesn't matter. You listen to that and it still hits to this day.
This album is like a whole nother level of consciousness, you know? When this dropped, I mean, yeah, you had listened to ICP, you've listened to Twisted, you know, Blaze's first EP had been out, but hearing all of them together with Mars, I mean, you know, think of what you want to think about Mars at this point in his career. You know, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing nowadays, you know, but I have no fucking doubt back then he was fucking essential to this album, you know.
He really was.
I mean,
some random guy that just came out of nowhere. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. Yeah, he toured on the Bizarre tour, and next thing you know, he's in Dark Lotus, and you're like, all right, let's hope this goes good.
Right. Absolutely. I remember Mars at the fucking 2001 gathering in Toledo, and he had just started painting his face. And I remember hearing that was one of the reasons Violent J was kind of like, he's kind of pandering to our crowd now, you know. I don't know what he's doing. But at that point, I don't give a fuck because Mars was hard on this album.
He really was.
I mean, he fits so well with everybody on that album.
Their chemistry, even though they brought in an outsider, just completely meshed on that album. It's pretty much a perfect album, no matter what way you look at it.
And I remember the Bizarre tour, they had handed out the Psychopathic 2001 samplers at shows. And it had the sampler for Dark Lotus, this album. And then they had, was Blaze on there?
One Less G in the Hood.
One Less G in the Hood. And Mars's Lung Fumo She had a sampler on there.
Yeah.
They had a track by ICP and Mars called Fuck Them at the very beginning. Tick Tick Tock, Riddle Box. Fuck. They would later on release that track on Forgotten Freshness, I think, and renamed it something else without Mars on it. But everybody knows that original song was with Mars, you know.
Yeah.
Called Fuck Them from the fucking sampler. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was a dope track too. I guess that was really the first time we got to hear Mars with ICP, anybody psychopathic, and you had the dope One Less G in the Hood sampler on that was fresh too. But tonight, Tales from the Lotus Pod going up against a mystery album. Do we know what this album is? Do we want to find out?
Do we want to know? Can we get some fucking diamonds in the chat to release the name of this fucking album that Tales from the Lotus Pod is going up against?
And we can find out.
We will find out. Brooklyn will say, you know what? It's time to release the fucking Kraken.
Let's do it.
Let's see them diamonds.
Drop the fucking diamonds. In the chat, we find out the album Tales from the Lotus Pod will be going up against tonight.
I'm telling you, man. I know what the album is, and it's fucking gonna be a tough one for some people.
It's gonna be an interesting battle for sure.
It's gonna be very interesting. So,
I mean, Tales from the Lotus Pod is such a fucking classic, without a doubt.
All right, way to go, chat. I don't see any fucking diamonds. I see flames and fucking beer jugs. What the fuck?
Everybody's drunk.
I guess so. You know what, Brooklyn? Just fucking release it. Thank you, Siznak. Thank you.
This is the Lord of the gods. This is the Lord of the universe. This is the He whom the winds fear. This is He right here, right here. Having the voice to His commandment. The Lord of all things, King, ruler and helper. Hear me now. Make our spirit subject unto me.
Up in that bitch ass motherfucker, trigger deep. When you see us coming, turn the fuck around and get the fuck on. Lil Shank, speak on these fools.
I drop gangsta shit with my gangsta click, and everybody on the other side suck my dick. Now with my gangsta ways and my gangsta walk, I spit gangsta shit every time I talk. Now what you motherfuckers know about a rider in black who be investing all this cheddar in the trees and gas? I got ammunition to bring the fucking drama whenever. Who wanna talk shit? Where is that bitch? Whatever.
That shit is so
man,
hard.
I'm like still singing along to that fucking track because, god damn it, gangsta shit is so fucking.
The
dude.
classic DOC flip. Oh, I love that track. Tales
God,
from the
dude.
Lotus Pod going up against Riding Dirty from the Psychopathic Riders.
Yeah, these two classic albums right here.
Absolutely.
Right here.
Both albums are classics. I love Riding Dirty. Not necessarily my favorite Psychopathic Riders album, but goddamn if it ain't, right there.
I mean, I could probably say this would be, out of their whole catalog, this probably does take it for me.
Yeah.
Riding Dirty. I mean, I haven't matched them up track for track like we do in UFCD.
Right.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, Tales from the Lotus Pod probably takes it just based on initial looking at it,
Right.
and knowing that album was so, I don't know, spiritual, I guess I would say, for me.
Even though it was dark as hell.
It was dark, but it was still, that's what really connected on a spiritual level, because it was fucking wicked. It was real. It wasn't like buttered up pop shit or, stuff you couldn't relate to and other music going on around then,
Probably the darkest album Psychopathic Records ever released.
Yeah. Great.
I would say. But, people, they hyped up Hell's Pit to be the most evil thing. Maybe, I don't like that album, but I don't think it's as dark as this. What else have they released?
Dark?
Yeah. That they would, I don't think anything touches Tales from the Lotus Pod as, wicked.
It's on a whole nother level, like for real. I mean, you even get into like Black Rain and Opaque Brotherhood and other releases from Lotus, but they are not as dark and real and, innocent. I don't know what to say, it's very fucking new what they were doing at that point. It was fresh. It was, I don't know.
I mean, weren't they doing like magic spells and reading from the Necronomicon and shit on Dark Lotus?
Yeah. I mean, there's like in the, I don't remember, but in the booklet, or there's like a spell right here you can do.
Yeah.
All you kids at home. There's a spell you can do there. It's something to do with a mirror, and I don't know.
Get high, get drunk, and do the spell.
Get drunk, play with the Ouija board, and
Right.
But man.
And then you got the classic Riding Dirty.
Yeah,
this was their second album. Twin Gats was no longer in the group.
Yeah.
Just Fofo, Cell Block, Folklit, Bullet, Lil Shank. More modern take than what Dumpin' was. And this album's hard as hell.
Dude,
at the finest.
I'll tell you, this came out and it was so fucking exciting because when Dumpin' came out, that was like what do you call it? A fucking experiment album for them,
Right.
It was Dumpin' was originally going to be like a fun CD Juggalos could win if they like figured out the clues in the Jekyll Brothers
Right.
right?
Right.
But they released it at concerts and everything. Everybody started hearing Dumpin'. Fucking Dumpin' was popping. But this album coming out was a surprise to me back then. And I was like, hell yeah, they're doing more with it. Which they should, because you heard Dumpin'
And that was a
they got
classic.
fucking skill.
And I actually found this CD in the store. I was surprised. I remember on release date when it came out, or it might have been a week later. But I did find this CD in the store. I was like, holy shit, how are they selling Jacked Beats on CD in a store? It's got the barcode on it. I don't think the first one had a barcode. But yeah, I found that it was Media Play. Do you remember Media Play? I don't know if that was in your area.
We didn't have one, but yeah.
Yeah, I found it in Media Play. Couldn't believe it.
I know we had a Hastings that would buy any fucking album you brought in, but
right. So one thing about these albums, Tales from the Lotus Pod contains 16 songs. Riding Dirty, 13. We can't go track for track. We're gonna have to take out a few tracks from Tales from the Lotus Pod. It's been previously agreed before the show. .com will be taken out. That won't be counted as a track. And it's been left up to me and Scotty Two Balls to take out the final 2 tracks right here on the pre-show before the battle begins. And this is going to be tough because every single song on this album is amazing. Not one weak song on here.
I'll tell you, this album is like, this album is fluid, dude. I mean, you listen to it front to back. It's one of those that the last track meshes into the next track, and it just is fluid. But fuck, it's going to be a tough decision taking 2 other songs off this album besides .com.
Yeah, because .com's not really a song. That's just them shouting out websites. It was cool. If you ran a website back in the day, you got to hear your website get shouted out. That must have been fucking awesome.
I'll tell you, I remember when they put the call out for people to submit their websites and everything to be included on this track. And at that time, I was a manager of a bowling alley, and I was doing, we called it the Juggalo Jersey League. Like, we'd have a bunch of juggalos. We made our own league, and you bowl, and at the end of the fucking league, you could pick out a fucking jersey that they had available back then.
Oh, that's dope.
But at that time, a lot of juggalos were like, you know what, fuck the jersey. Let's go to this gathering that they're hyping up, And a lot of people like ditched their fucking jersey money and put it toward a gathering ticket back then. So, it was awesome. Great times. The only thing they mention about a bowling league, there's like a Dallas bowling league or something. So, my fucking suggestion never made it on the fucking album, but I'm okay with that.
All right, I'm going to jump in here real quick. So, do you guys want to do this now? Each of you remove 1 track off of Tales from the Lotus Pod, your least favorite track, and I'm going to delete them off the playlist. Mike and Siznak, I know you're finding this out for the first time, but that's how it goes here on UFCD.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, it does suck losing the track, but once we remove the 2 tracks, the 2 of you can start, giving your opinions on how stuff lines up and what you think is going to take it tonight and by how many points. Just one rule: we do not remove the intros.
All right.
No, dude, you can't remove the intros. I mean, the intros on both of these albums are
classic,
pivotal to the fucking history,
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right. Do you want to start it off? You want to start by taking out 1 track from Tales from the Lotus Pod?
Dude, I'm trying to even think, I want to say, let me look at the track list real quick, because I got to be sure. I have one in my head. Do you have one? Are you for
All
sure
right.
about that?
Okay, let's go. We're gonna remove "We Danced" from Tales from the Lotus Pod.
I hate you. I love that fucking song.
It's a
damn
great
it.
song.
All right, and We Danced has been removed.
Oh. You know, there's one track on that album that kind of lost a little more flavor to it, which I'm thinking I'm gonna remove because it's I'll tell you, it's fucking hold on, let me look, double check.
Oh man, this is epic as fuck. Taking off 2 tracks on like one of the best psychopathic albums ever. Period.
Okay, I'm telling you, this is track number 3, something. I'm taking it out. My least favorite track on there.
Okay.
All right, track 3, Something, has been removed.
You know, and I will tell you why, because ICP released Forgotten Freshness 3, and Violent J did a solo track over that beat, and I loved it more than the track Something off the Lotus album. So,
Oh really?
yeah, heroin is
that-
no part of my diet. What the fuck? I'll try it. Give me a balloon. I mean, yeah, I loved it more than, yeah.
All right.
Out of here.
Something
Something and
and
we
We Danced are gone. So let's break this down. Oh wait.
Before we break it down, Mike and Siznak, I see you there in the chat. Do me a favor, please, and line these up now. Make a list of what's going up against what, because this just completely threw off how I'd have everything lined up here, and it's going to be fucking difficult as usual, but we're going to get through it.
UFCD, baby. Tales from the Lotus Pod versus Riding Dirty.
Hell yeah, man. I was listening to Riding Dirty today, and I'm like, man, this album is so good. I was like going back and looking at what these tracks, the samples were and stuff. I love doing that. Every time ICP or Riders would come out with an album, I'd be like, all right, well, what is this a sample from? You know, what instrumental did they fucking rap over? And then I'd be fans of new music, and it would like introduce me to new shit I hadn't heard before, you know?
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah, Riding Dirty. I mean, when I first heard this album, I recognized like maybe 2 or 3 of the instrumentals that they rapped over, which was Push and Wait by Ice Cube.
Yep.
Fucking It Wasn't Me by Shaggy, and I fucking hated that song. That song got me. That song used to fucking trigger me back in the day.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Till Riders did their fucking interpretation over it, you know, and then I fucking love it and I fucking chill out to the beat. But there's so many good fucking instrumentals or original songs that they chose to do their own spin on. Fucking
hell yeah. A lot of classic shit. All right,
Yeah.
you wanna start breaking this down? We got the Tales from the Lotus Pod intro versus the Riding Dirty intrizo. Which one you going with? Absolutely. That's set for the album. Like, I don't listen to many intros like when I go back and listen to albums, but when I listen to Tales from the Lotus Pod, I have to listen to that intro. It gives you goosebumps, and then it just sets the album off perfectly.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'll tell you, like during that time period before the 6th was dropped, you know, there was so much like in the air about being a juggalo and, you know, following ICP, you know, getting into Twisted during this time, you know, loving their shit, you know, reaching out, and Blaze You Dead Homie was coming on the scene. His fucking hype man, ABK, was starting to make some noise. And then you got this fucking intro here for this album, Dark Lotus, which they had teased at on Jekyll Brothers, you know. And then, but Dark Lotus, so much history there. I mean, they hyped it up a lot online. I don't remember if a lot of people were around back then or paid attention back then, but they hyped up this album a lot.
Oh, hell yeah.
With like Seeds of the Lotus, the 6 websites out there that were going to get firsthand information about the album. Do you remember the first track they released online for this album?
I don't. At that time, I was going through a rough patch, so I didn't really have internet access at that time. So
Okay.
when I heard the album in full for the first time, that was the first time I heard anything.
I remember they released the track Black Magic, and it
Okay.
was like they released it online only, and so that's all we had. And that track, I like that track, but I thought that was a kind of a weak track for them to promote the album with.
Yeah.
I mean, it was darker and it was more, had all of them on there, back and forth. It was cool. I liked it, but it just seemed like a weird choice back then.
Right. That is a weird choice for a lead-off single for that album.
For this album, for sure.
Yeah. Good song, but weird choice for a lead-off single.
Yeah, so me and Ron definitely choose fucking Lotus Pop for that track.
All right, up next we got Alibaba going up against Gangsta Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, see,
some of these tracks are going to be tough, but I think the majority, for me personally, is going to be Tales from the Lotus Pod.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of these are going to be tough, like this one right here. Gangsta Shit is a classic, as is Alibaba. I'll probably go if I love the DOC flip. It's so classic.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go Alibaba on it. I have to. It's just so good. Blaze's flow on there, he fucking kills it. The chorus, everything about that track, love it. Alibaba for me.
Fuck, man. See, I was leaning toward Gangsta Shit, and then I'm like, man, I remember hearing Alibaba on the sampler and being like so intrigued when fucking Violent J like came on and talking about splitting your forehead and planting his fucking lotus. And it was like, oh my God, this is like on some whole other fucking level of lyrics, music, or anything.
Yep.
So I gotta say, on depth, definitely, yeah, I'll go with Alibaba. I mean, fucking Gangsta Shit is so fucking good.
Right.
One of my like favorite tracks on this whole fucking album. A great way to introduce the fucking album. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great first track. We're skipping something. That's the third song. So we're going to Hurt Myself up against Nobody in This Game.
Oh,
Nobody in This Game is one of my all-time favorite Ryder songs. I fucking love that. The hook, Blaze's hook on there, Monoxide, Fofo kills it on that track. Love that song. One of my all-time favorite. But then Hurt Myself is another all-time favorite Dark Lotus.
No doubt, dude.
That's hard.
I'm telling you, dude. Monoxide's fucking verse on Hurt Myself just like takes the whole fucking cake. I'm sitting in the dog talking to myself. I mean, his whole fucking verse was like, God damn it. I love I Hurt Myself. That's like one of my favorite tracks of ever, all time, So
I love Mars's verse on there.
Yeah.
Try to run up on me, pull a piece out they belt. I smile, grab that shit and shut my fucking self.
I stay with my tattoos on. Yeah.
That's so hard.
Dude, yeah, he came correct on that fucking track, definitely. Definitely going with fucking I Hurt Myself. I mean, I could pin I Hurt Myself up against every track on Riding Dirty, and I'd probably pick I Hurt Myself.
Yeah.
That's how much I love that fucking song.
I don't know. I'm going to go with Nobody in This Game because that shit just hits so hard. Blaze's hook on there, Monoxide's verse, just everybody destroyed it. The beat, that shit it's fight music. You know what I mean? Like
it is. It's exciting, man. It pumps you up, for real.
Yeah, man. I'm going to have to go with that one right there.
All right.
And then up next, we got, Call Upon Your Gods going up against Never Gonna Quit featuring Lil Poop.
Dude, yeah. That was so awesome, Big Money Hustlers had been out, and then for them to have a track with Lil Poop making an appearance was like,
son.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. And that song is great. I mean, Madrox definitely showed a lot of vocal skill on Riding Dirty, you know, because he
Yeah.
like took care of a lot of the choruses.
From what I understand, Riding Dirty, a lot of the tracks on here were originally meant for solo Rada albums that they just ended up turning into Psychopathic Rada songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember hearing that at some point somewhere. Could be wrong, but I remember hearing that.
It's quite plausible. I mean, you know, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but they do have the Pendulum album was coming out around then, and we had like 2 Bullet solo tracks. We had a Full Clip solo track, and then Madrox released a solo Lil Shank track called "That Game Ain't Got No Love" online exclusive.
Yep.
I mean, that's quite possible because this was right during that era. So,
yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, Call Upon Your Gods versus Never Gonna Quit. Call Upon Your Gods for me is like a top 3 track on Tales from the Lotus Pod. Never Gonna Quit is a dope track from Riding Dirty, but Call Upon Your Gods all day for me. No question.
Dude, definitely the red version of Call Upon Your Gods because ABK's version on that fucking track makes me want to like slip my fucking wrists.
I mean, the whole gold version
definitely
fucking
one of my favorite tracks on that album also. But I love the other track too, dude.
Yeah, both are great tracks.
Call Upon Your Gods, definitely for me.
All right. And then we're skipping We Danced.
Yep.
Up next is Black Magic going against Boom.
Oh, I got to go with Boom, straight off.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Black Magic, dope track. We talked about it earlier, but Boom.
Dude, I'm a big fucking Ice Cube fan, and seeing other people mark out for him, too. Like I've seen Violent J do, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, I get that because I fucking love Ice Cube, too. So seeing them do fucking instrumental for an Ice Cube track, I didn't really care for Pushing Weight when Ice Cube did it. You know, I thought it was pretty cool when the Writers did it, though, you know?
Yeah, I liked Pushing Weight. I thought it was a dope track, but Boom is hard.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
Yeah, I love Pushing Weight, dude. I mean, Boom.
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 Right. So we're giving that one to Psychopathic Riders. Up next, we got Gimme That Blood going up against Ride to the End.
I got to go. Give me that blood, man. Give me that blood. Give me that blood. Hell yeah.
Classic. It's such a funky ass beat, too.
It is.
You never really heard them rap on some shit like that. Like that's I don't know who did the beat. I know Mike P did some production on here. Fritz did some, and Mikey Clark did some production, but I don't know, specifically which songs. But that track right there, it's like a fast paced kind of song, funky ass beat. And although I do like Ride to the End, I got to give it to Give Me That Blood. That shit is just ultimate classic off Tales.
That song makes you feel like you could just dance in blood and shit, and give me that blood, give me that blood. I mean, that track is, I love that track.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely. And I do want to point out real quick, since we're, I was thinking back to the Dark Lotus intro. That was one of the tracks they actually got fucking sued for from what was it called? It was that group that did Midnight Syndicate. Midnight Syndicate.
Right.
They got sued by Midnight Syndicate on for the intro on this because it was like, they straight up just took the music for one of their instrumental Halloween songs they did.
ICP and Psychopathic are notorious for just straight up stealing people's shit.
Yeah. But I just had to point that out while I was thinking about it.
Yep. All right. So we were at Give Me That Blood. Up next, Headache. Oof. Headache going up against Bye Bye. Damn. Both classic tracks. But Headache for me, another one of my all-time favorite Lotus tracks. Not much is going to beat Headache, and Bye Bye is not going to do it. I got to give it to Headache for sure.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Headache is like, that's one of them solid fucking tracks on this album. That
just dark.
make it what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, Bye Bye, you know, it's good. I like listening to it, but yeah, I could do without that one over this. You know,
It's a classic. Bye Bye is dope. That was the NWA. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was on the Friday soundtrack, I believe, or next Friday soundtrack. And great flip from the Riders, but Headache is just so classic, so dark.
Yeah, by Cool G Rap.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Up next, we got Bad Rep going up against Dem Bitches.
I got to go with Bad Rep straight up. I mean, I don't even have to, you know, Bad Rep. Madrox's fucking verse on there was so, like, relatable, I guess. I mean, not the dick too small part, but, you know, everything else. But,
right.
I mean, that whole track was so good. Come over here. Let me tell you a story. You know, it's about Ned and how I can't get none. That whole fucking song is awesome, you know.
Hell yeah. I love that track. Classic. And to be honest, I can't even think of Dem Bitches off the top of my head right now. I'll be reminded of it when they play it during the show.
Right.
But right now, I can't even think of it. And I could definitely play Bad Rep in my head right now, like front to back. So based on that alone, I have to go Bad Rep.
Right. I mean, the only thing I can think of from Dem Bitches is Dem Bitches don't know about this Detroit Mafia. That's the only verse I can think of from that track.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I can't even. It's not ringing a bell just looking at the track.
Oh. Who play them bitches like they all the same? Riders do. Who play them bitches like a ball game? Riders do. It's that song, right?
Oh, okay. All right. Now, yeah,
Okay.
definitely Bad Rep. Definitely Bad Rep.
But Bad Rep definitely stuck out way more than that track.
Yep.
Yeah. Bad Rep is so good. The fucking chorus is awesome. Ain't nobody love me. No. Mom and Daddy love me. No. Yeah. That song was so fucking good, man.
Classic. Up next, we got Bitch I'm Sexy up against There It Goes. Bitch I'm Sexy is just one of those classic misogynistic songs from Psychopathic Records. There It Goes is a dope track, but I gotta give it to Bitch I'm Sexy. I love Mars's verse on there.
Absolutely, man.
Spit on you, bitch. Like, just so fucked up and classic.
That whole fucking song about being a scrub and not, you know, that song was so relatable, I guess. Back in those days, I was like, this was before I was even married, and I was like, you know, I might be ugly, but I'm sexy, bitch. You know, it gives you that little kind of self-confidence. You know, you can be ugly as fuck, but it still gives you that, but I ain't going to give up, you know?
Right.
Even though it's a fucking funny song, but the subject matter, I guess, you know, was good. You know, bitch, I'm sexy.
I got a Lexi. I got a taxi. Get the fuck in and floor it and pay for it, bitch.
Yeah. That song is so good.
Hell
Bitch, I'm sexy. Take off my shirt. What's that all on my back there? Fucking Madrox's verse. Vampire out the water, coming straight to land. Kitty killer, but you know fuck you better than I can. Yeah, dude, that whole fucking song is good. Bitch, I'm sexy takes it.
Absolutely. Up next, we got Swarm going up against Riding Dirty, the title track, Riding Dirty. Swarm is just that guitar. They're back and forth on that. Mars fucking kills it. I don't give a fuck. I know Mars got a lot of hate over the years, but he absolutely brought it on this album. And this is one of the tracks where he really shined on, in my personal opinion. I love the chorus on here too, the chanting from everybody. Up against Riding Dirty, I gotta go Swarm.
Yeah, dude, dude, I hated that song. I hated Swarm when fucking ABK's verse or version came out. I mean, man, Mars made that fucking song shine. ABK fucking murdered it. I hated hearing that song after I heard that version.
No fault to ABK. They should have never touched this album. They should have never redone it. It's no fault against him because he's dope. He's put out dope albums. He was just set up for failure. Re-recording this album.
I mean, I love the shit out of ABK.
Absolutely.
But man, he did not belong on that first album.
No, it's just they could have never touched it. It was a big mistake on Psychopathic Records' part doing that.
So I'm gonna go with fucking Riding Dirty.
You're going riding? Okay.
Yeah, that song gives me happier memories than Swarm does.
All right.
Definitely.
Up next, we got I Wanna Die going up against Ride Out. I Wanna Die.
I Want to Die.
I love the beat on there. The beat on there is super dope. Don't know who did the production on there. Just another one of those classic Dark Lotus tracks. And I have to go with I Want to Die. Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. I mean, the whole subject matter, but I mean, you hear the fucking name of the song and you're like, what the fuck are you listening to? You know, I Want to Die.
Right.
And then everybody on that track came with it, you know. Just the subject matter and everything. Fucking Blaze coming in, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You know, that song is amazing. One of my favorite Lotus tracks ever. You know,
Without a doubt.
No doubt. I Want to Die, fucking 100%.
And I know we're kind of glossing over the Riding Dirty tracks, but it's just that the red version specifically of Tales from the Lotus Pod is just so classic.
It is. It is.
Juggalo classic, underground classic, wicked shit classic. Call it what you want. Classic.
I mean, I'm not saying Riding Dirty ain't fucking classic. I love the shit out of that album too, but man, when you're putting it up against Tales from the Lotus Pod,
it's tough. Any album
tough,
against Tales from the Lotus Pod is tough.
Yeah.
All right. So that was I Want to Die. Up next, we got Black Crows going up against Thumpin'. I love Thumpin'. That shit is hard. I love Violent J's verse on there. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know he's just talking about beating somebody the fuck up.
Yeah.
Super dope.
See, I'm not a big fan of the Black Crows song. I mean, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Our Father of Shangri-La, hallowed be. I fucking loved all that shit. But Thumpin', man, that song is so fucking hype.
It is.
I mean, yeah, Violent J just starting the track out bare nuts, baby. We came to get a swing on. Oh, yeah, man. Fucking love that song. Thumpin' that's probably my favorite track on Riding Dirty, actually.
I'm not mad at that at all. I'm going to go with Thumpin' up against Black Crows.
You know, straight up, me too, definitely.
Fuck yeah. And then we're down to the last track here. I mean, it's Juggalo Family against Murder Follows Me. What's going to beat Juggalo Family? I'll fucking sit here and wait. Nothing, in my opinion.
Right. I mean, yeah. I like Murder Follows Me, but yeah, compared to this song, that like is a time capsule in itself, you know?
Right.
That fucking track is a fucking time capsule. I mean,
you listen to it, you miss the old days, one. Two, it gives you chills because you think of those old days and, you know, when everything was all good.
Right.
And it's always say what you will or may. I'll always have Juggalo Family. Like,
I'll tell you what, the verse on that fucking track, Mars's verse fucking like explained the whole fucking Juggalo Family back then.
Yep.
You know, even though he wasn't like included in his verse, it's Twisted, Blaze, and ICP. You know, that's what everybody felt back then.
Right.
You know? So yeah, if we fuck with these guys, we got their backs. You know, that's why it hurts so much nowadays. But that song right there just time capsuled it, you know?
Yep.
It's
a super classic track. I'm glad I got to see them perform it live.
Yeah.
I saw them on the Black Rain tour. That was such a great tour. And they performed that, you know, of course. I'm pretty sure they end every Dark Lotus show with that song. I feel like they would have to.
They'd be fools not to.
Right. But it's just classic shit. I kept a tally of all the tracks that I picked
Okay.
of these two albums, and I got the score at 10-3. Tales from the Lotus Pod 10, Riding Dirty 3. I had a feeling it was going to be very lopsided like that for me personally.
Yeah.
Just Tales is just so classic.
It is. I mean, it would be hard to put even Tails up against some Joker's cards, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Like
It would be definitely hard.
even take Tales from the Lotus Pod. What a great matchup would be for Tales from the Lotus Pod to branch out of Psychopathic Records would be Not Us Do You Believe in God. That album is like one of the best wicked shit horrorcore albums ever. Just as dark as Tales from the Lotus Pod and fucked up. And I think that would be a great matchup, if you were to branch outside of Psychopathic. But
Right. Yeah.
any other album from Psychopathic to go up against Tales, it'd be tough.
It's definitely tough, man. I mean, trying to find this fucking old school flyer I had in my house.
All the old school flyers I got in storage. I got to dig those out.
Right. It's just an old Tales from the Lotus Pod. It's here somewhere, but
I see Joker's Gallery in the chat. He said Isham and Lotus would have been epic. At one point, he was supposed to be in Dark Lotus.
okay, I don't know if anybody else remembers this. Some people might, but before Dark Lotus was going to come out, ICP, Isham, and Twisted, and Blaze, I believe, they were all going to have a puzzle piece in their next album, and together it would like form the Necronomicon. Is what they called it before all this. Anybody remember this shit?
I vaguely remember that because I remember Necronomicon thing like talk back then. Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about this, and it was even talk. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was thinking about fucking Planned Panic with fucking Tech Nine. That was another super group idea. But
right.
yeah, Isham was originally going to be in fucking Dark Lotus. That would have been amazing, dude. For real.
Oh, it would have been great. I mean, you ever hear the unreleased version of Isham on What from the Bizarre albums?
Yes. After many years. Yeah.
You fucking killed it on there. You schooled that shit. I'm surprised. Isham must have started talking shit or something, and they had to cut him from the album. But
who knows, man? Yeah.
But that shit was classic.
We got like 2 minutes left, man. The main fucking event's about to be popping on. Y'all are gonna get to go through these albums and hear snippets of tracks. Get kicked out of streams due to copyright shit.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn's on top of that. He's gonna keep it going.
Mike Sears and Siznak are gonna break it down so ill like they do every week. I want to say this. I haven't agreed with most of the end results of these UFCDs. Like, in my opinion, nothing should beat Greg Malenko. I don't even think Tales from the Lotus Pod should beat Greg Malenko. But the fact somehow, and I love Chuckle Brothers, don't get me wrong, beat Greg Malenko. I was like, what the and that's what's so great about this show is you think a certain album is going to win, and then they tally up the votes, and then Amazing Chuckle Brothers beats Great Malenko.
Yeah. Well, we're down to our last minute. Y'all stay fucking tuned for UFCD. Fucking Beneath the Dirt, Runebone, fucking killing it. Make sure you're subscribed to him over there. Instagram, fucking Twitter. Dude, you're all over the place on social media, man. I try to be.
BeneathDirt.com. If anybody, you want to find me, BeneathDirt.com.
Beneath the Dirt, and you'll fucking find him for sure. Scotty Balls with Carnival Spirits.
Scotty, this was fun.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Brooklyn wants to have us back. I'm fucking down to do it again. So
for sure,
it's nice having a fucking 45-minute time limit, so I'm not like just going on and on and on. Being more structured. But much fucking love, y'all. Brooklyn, you can go ahead and get us out of here. Much love, Juggalos.
Peace.